The story of Rome begins with its legendary foundation. According to Roman myth, the city was founded by twin brothers Romulus and Remus on April 21, 753 BCE. These twins were said to be the sons of the war god Mars and the Vestal Virgin Rhea Silvia. Raised by a she-wolf after being abandoned by their mother, the brothers grew up to found the city of Rome, with Romulus eventually becoming its first king after a tragic dispute with Remus. While the story of Romulus and Remus is mythological, the early history of Rome is grounded in archaeological evidence. The settlement likely began as a collection of small villages on the 7 hills of the Tiber River, where early Roman communities grew from agricultural and pastoral lifestyles. This small settlement eventually merged with others, forming the core of the burgeoning city-state. Rome's early history is characterized by its monarchical system, in which a king ruled the city. Over the course of the next 2 centuries, Rome was ruled by a series of kings. While the identities of many of these kings remain uncertain, traditional Roman historians recorded 7 kings, including notable figures such as Numa Pompilius, who is credited with founding many of Rome's religious institutions, and Tullus Hostilius, a warrior king who expanded Rome's influence. The final king of Rome, Tarquin the Proud, was a tyrant who was overthrown in 509 BCE. His expulsion marked the end of the monarchy and the beginning of the Roman Republic, a new form of government that would define Rome for the next several centuries. The Roman Republic was a period of significant political and social development, which laid the groundwork for the expansion and dominance of Rome in the Mediterranean world. The government of the Republic was characterized by a complex system of checks and balances. Power was not vested in a single ruler but was shared among elected magistrates, the Senate, and the popular assemblies. The Republic was also marked by an internal tension between 2 social classes, the patricians, the aristocratic elite, and the plebeians, the common people. One of the earliest challenges of the Republic was the conflict between these 2 groups. Initially, the patricians held almost all political power, but the plebeians gradually fought for their rights through a series of political reforms. The conflict of the orders, which lasted from 494 BCE to 287 BCE, resulted in the establishment of the tribunes of the plebs, officials who could veto decisions made by the Senate, and the passage of laws that granted more rights to the plebeians, including the 12 Tables, 451 to 450 BCE, Rome's first written legal code. During the early Republic, Rome began to expand its territory, first consolidating control over the surrounding Italian peninsula and then turning its attention to external threats. Rome's first major military engagement was with its neighbors in the Latin League and the Samnites, a group of Italic tribes who sought to resist Roman expansion. Rome's military prowess became a defining characteristic of the Republic. The Roman legions, highly trained and disciplined, played a central role in Rome's rise to power. During this time, Rome fought several significant wars, including the Punic Wars against Carthage, 264 BCE to 146 BCE. The Punic Wars were a series of 3 wars that ultimately led to Rome's dominance over the western Mediterranean. The Second Punic War, 218 BCE to 201 BCE, famously led by the Carthaginian general Hannibal, tested Rome's military might but ultimately resulted in a Roman victory.